I supported my brother who did 24 years in prison the entire time he was there. I think I was, 13 years old when my brother got locked up for unaliving somebody, right? I seen the confession video. I was at all of the court appointments. I used to go and visit my brother when he was upstate New York. I put money on his books. I sent boxes for him, um, clothes, sneakers. You ask me, I've seen the prison system change over 24 years. Now you're probably like, Mel, why are you telling me? Why are you coming out here and telling us all of this? Why are you coming and talking the things you've done for your brother? Well, here's why. My brother was deported. Many of you have been following me from day one, even coming with me when I'm going live while I'm driving upstate New York, leaving where I live 5 hours away from New York to then go upstate New York, a 10-hour drive to go see him. And many of you have been following me since then, right? So my brother got deported back in April of 2023. When I tell y'all ask anybody in that village, Fly, from his sneakers to his socks to his boxes, everything, bought everything for him. Now, me and my brother.
Ladies and gentlemen, you should not be raising grown ass human beings. I'm just going to say it that way. I don't care if it is your own blood children. Yes, you can take care of them. You're always going to love them and want to support them, but you should not be responsible for taking care of a whole entire grown ass human being, because all you're doing for that person is enabling whatever sort of behaviors that they're continuing to perpetuate that do not allow them to take care of themselves. And the reason I said ladies at first is because this is a woman who is talking about her brother. This is the younger sister taking care of the older brother. That is ass backwards. And on top of that, he is somebody who is, a part of that system, that pipeline to prison system. This is a young man who took somebody's life. And I'm not going to take away or absolve any sort of responsibility. Oh, blame it on the white man, blame it on the system. No. He made a decision to take somebody's life. He spent his life in prison. And now he's getting a double whammy. He's about to get his ass sent back to wherever he once came. So let us continue. I just had to let that be known because I don't know where the rest of this is going, but we're not doing that anymore. We're not. We're not enabling that behavior. We're not being led by our guilty feelings, survivor's guilt. No. When I got off the dope, I left everybody that was on the dope. I left all of them. Dudes that I knew for most of my life, I cut ties and relationships with because there was nothing I could do for them because they wanted nothing for themselves. Not enough money I could spend, enough tickets I could buy to fly them out and do this and do that, enough money to be spent at this one and that one. The commissary, money put on books, calls from none of that could have made the difference because they had to make the decision in and of themselves. So let us continue.
The hell break loose. We do not talk right now. And I'm going to tell you how we move from being like this, from me holding him down and supporting him for 11 years, supporting him while he's in Guyana to this.
Talk
My
about it.
brother was living in my house in Guyana for 2 years, rent-free, bill-free, not paying for anything. I sent him thousands of dollars while he was in Guyana. Just in these 2 years, thousands. Have all my receipts. Took him out the country. Have all my receipts. Okay. My brother recently got married and he moved from my house. I told him, yo, you cannot have a wife and a baby and stay in my house because my family and we actively come to Guyana. So we can't expect you and your wife to stay in one room and a baby, right? And then y'all can't take over our house because we come there. So boom, he moves over to my mama house. He moved over there, whatever. Here's where the breakdown is coming in. My mother says to him, you're going to have to pay the light bill and the water bill in the house. Who tells you that? He wants to pay no bills. Do you hear?
This is what happens when you are raising grown ass human beings. There's not going to be a sense of gratitude. There's not going to be a sense of appreciation and understanding of what it took for you to pay that off. I'm telling y'all right now, the biggest bottleneck that most people have in their lives as far as getting to success is their own limiting beliefs. Like my beliefs are going to hold me back, right? And your own level of guilt that you experience based off of you succeeding and those around you not succeeding. And you will likely do anything in your power to get rid of those guilty feelings, not understanding that that guilt is unwarranted. It's not it's not your business if somebody else does what they need to do to succeed. And some of these folks will hold you the hell back, intentionally or subconsciously. They will sabotage whatever it is that you got going on. They will or you will self-sabotage, or they will look to sabotage you. If you continue to drag these grown bodies around, you you won't even have enough to give your own kids. The ones that you are responsible for, the one that God gave you to take care of, you won't even be able to take care of those babies because you're so busy taking care of somebody else's grown ass baby. Man, this one's got me going right here. There's too much resonance.
He does not want to work. Do you hear me?
Yep.
He
I hear
feels
you.
like we should be minding him. How dare him? He's 43 years old. How dare
Yeah, I should have done the math. If he was 20 some when she was 13 years old, a 40-year-old man. Some of y'all got 40-year-old men, 50-year-old men who are living with their mother or whatever it is. Now, I'm not talking about, you fell on hard times or whatever it is, but I got to be all the way real. If you are 40, 50 years old and you fall on hard times, hopefully you have created a life in which that's not the necessary case. Hopefully you have been diligent over whatever you have created throughout your life. You've been a steward, or that you've created something in the first place. This dude, he never did. He was what Jordan Peterson used to call like the Peter Pan syndrome. He's the boy that never grew up. And I see this more oftentimes than not when it comes to relationships of men the boys and the girls and the difference between the two. Like when I was growing up, I always saw in the single mother households, because I grew up with two folks, I was blessed enough to have that. But most of my homeboys had a mother at home, or grandma and mom, and they're working in tandem. And I would see this more times than not. If they had a sister, whether she was older or younger, she had more responsibility on her. She had more of this sense of urgency towards maturing. Whereas the boy would basically be a man child in essence, right? I remember one time, he was my brother, may his soul rest forever. He was begging me to buy him a pair of shoes. We were like maybe 12 at the time, right? We were playing AU basketball, et cetera. And there were a new pair of LeBrons that came out. And he's like, man, I need these. He had, mind you, he already had like 15, 20 pairs of shoes already. I need these. And I had some money on me at the time. But I was like, if you wait like a week or whatever, I can help you get them. And he started catching attitudes like, oh man, no, like I want him, I need him now. He's like, all right, man, forget it, whatever. And I guess that same night he went to his mom. A day later, bruh pulls up with those new LeBrons. Now, mind you, the mom was not only broke, but she had been evicted from her house. She had her car repoed at some point in time, was living with the mama, like the grandmother. I wasn't putting two and two together when I was young, but now I realized what was going on. All the priorities were so out of whack. So little sister is the one who is fully employed, has been employed probably since she was like 16, 17, has been out there doing her own thing, bought her own car, bought her own this, like got her own place, whatever it is. And her older brother, unfortunately, lost his life due to, to a certain lifestyle that he was living. I just leave it at that. That's how that story ended up. The enabling of these young boys to never grow up is such a dangerous thing. And I promise you, I know for a fact, because she said her mother was the one who said, hey, pay the light bill. Why does your mom have to tell you to pay a bill when you are 40 some years old? That means your mom is what? In her 60s, 70s? So 70-year-old mom is still responsible for 40-year-old? Absolutely the hell not. That is ass backwards, folks. And she said he has a baby mama, right? Because he has a child. Hopefully he has a wife, but he's got a child. A 40-year-old child with a... Oh,
trying to make
I'm
this
over
thing
here
better?
listening to something by myself. Let's go ahead.
He feels like we should be minding him. How dare him? He's 43 years old. How dare you? And to top it off, instead of trying to make this thing better, every day my brother's seeing what could he do to make this thing worse. And why am I speaking out now about it on social media? Yesterday he went to my auntie church. Now, if you're Caribbean, you already know how the church is sacred. And, on Sundays, we don't play around and do all them nonsense. He went to the church and acted a fool in the church. Now, this is getting way too long, and I'm...
Yeah. Okay. I mean, yeah, she's airing them out. Is that right? I don't know. But what I do know is we have a perfect example of exactly why you need to, quote unquote, divest yourself from some of these people in your family structures, those who you're still clinging on to because of old relationships. Some people are still holding on to relationship, and I'm talking about like friendships, etc., because of what it once was. You're looking at what it was 30 years ago, what it was 40 years ago. This person is not the same person. And maybe even the entirety of the time you haven't really been truly friends, but instead you have been trauma bonded. And a lot of folks are going out here believing they got a best friend next to them. Rather, they're laying next to the enemy. They're chatting it up, gossiping with the enemy. A person who does not wish the highest good for them, who does not truly love them. And I'm not the type of person to say, oh, cut everybody off and do this and do that. Absolutely not. But you have to be so discerning, because we have been conditioned to believe that more people around us, the more lovable we are. The more people have around us, the more likable we are. Therefore, it means something about me. When in reality, sometimes when you're surrounded by people, it means you're a people pleaser. It means that you don't have a sense of boundaries. It means that you are somebody who is always looking to be seen or have a need to be needed. That's an issue. And she's at her breaking point. That's why she's on the internet airing them out now, right? She didn't even talk about the deportation as a negative thing, whatever. She just said he got deported. She's probably thanking God that he's finally gone in that way. Some folks will die because of their constant need to be needed. Mothers and their sons. Daughters and their mothers, or daughters and their fathers, sons and their mothers, sons and their fathers, raising a whole ass grown adult instead of divesting, separating yourself from those people who do not wish you well. And they may very well be your own kin, people who have your very same DNA. You got 50% of them genes, and they may not wish you well. We got to be vigilant, folks. We got to be hyper vigilant. You got to be awake. You can't be woke no more. You got to be awake to these sorts of realities. And so that's my cautionary tale, is to say, just because they're there doesn't mean they're there for you or they're there with you for real. And it's okay to separate yourself from such individuals. It's okay to let go of those relationships or to change the dynamic of them, to spend less investment, spend less time, energy, and attention that you invest into those situations because they mean you no good. And if they mean you no good, you can't do any good for it. You can't change them. You can't save them. Oh, I'm just trying to do what I can for them because they need help. They can help themselves once they make a decision that they want something different. Unless you are God Almighty, you can't do a damn thing about it besides leave and be at least an example for those who do wish to change. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Now, if you'd like to stay around, make sure to click that little subscribe button down there, or you can show some love by going to the description below and clicking on the button titled Buy Me a Coffee. Leave a little something there, or click on the Cash App. Leave a little something here. Till the next time, peace.
I fell in love with the sunshine. I fell in love with the light. I fell in love with the full moon. I fell in love with the night. I can see the light again. I can see the light. You can see the life in him illuminate the night. I know the time is taking a 365, that's a full rotation. I see you looking up, you know them constellations, constantly gazing like house of praises, you get to praising.